We've been seeing supply chain problems and, of course, skyrocketing prices because of the war with Russia and Ukraine. Prices specifically with like wheat, corn, sunflower oil, cooking oils, they're all going up because of this. But you know what? We have a new shortage coming on that's actually going to cause so much problems, it's going to cause a worldwide food shortage very soon. If you didn't know, nitrogen is the main component needed for fertilizers. Nitrogen, potassium, and potash are the three main ones you have to have. Without them, the plants won't grow. And even more specifically, fruit-bearing plants, plants that produce vegetables, have to have these, has to have nitrogen, or it simply won't produce the fruit at all. So what's going on? Russia is by far the largest exporter of nitrogenous fertilizer components. Besides just nitrogen, they export 23% of ammonia exports, 14% of urea exports, 10% of processed phosphate exports, and 21% of potash. Now, the United States, which is good, is not one of the primary importers of nitrogen. We actually import 10.3% of what we need for nitrogen each year, making us in the top 3. In addition, Russia and Belarus make up 40% of the world potash supply. Potash supply, if you didn't know, is simply just like broken down or burnt up wood components that actually help feed the plants. The United States, we import 93% of our potash. Most of it comes from Canada, but in the United States, we actually import about 12% of our potash from Russia and Belarus. But because of sanctions, that has stopped. Before the invasion of Ukraine, U.S. farmers were already struggling with higher prices and supply chain problems. Now, because of this, in the United States, fertilizer prices are 4 times what they were just 2 years ago. 4 times. That's crazy. And even though we're actually not dependent on these other countries as much, we're still hurting big time because of this. It's an all-time high with records broken. And for you and me, we may not live in an area needed for imported fertilizer, but we live in a world market. And because of this, world market prices are going through the roof. To make matters worse, natural gas is one of the components needed to make nitrogenous fertilizer. Since the exports have dropped so significantly, European natural gas exports have also declined, leading to, skyrocketing prices on natural gas, which will of course affect propane too if you happen to be a propane user. All right, I've mentioned this in other videos before, but the United States, we actually produce enough food every year to feed the entire planet. What is scary and what they're telling us is that that's basically not going to happen this year. Around the world, it's not going to happen either, not just the United States, but we're actually spiraling down into a worldwide famine, which takes place this summer. Absolutely scary. In addition, we're seeing famines in the Middle East and Africa too, making the problem even worse. But here's how it'll affect you. Although right now many of your grocery store food items may be in stock, it won't be for long. By the end of summer, we're projected to see massive food shortages, not to mention prices skyrocketing. If you thought it was bad before, seeing some of the videos we put out before with the missing items, not to mention, I'm sure you've seen some missing items from the grocery store as well, apparently we haven't seen anything yet. For me and my family, what we're going to do is throughout the spring and summer, we're going to try to devote any extra funds we possibly can to stock up. We love stocking up on canned food more than anything else. Lots and lots of canned food because of this. And of course, I would recommend you do the same thing. Not to mention this summer, we plan on doing a lot of gardening outside. And of course, we'll be doing our own canning, of course, with jars at that time too. That's all we can do to recommend we do this because, it's not about living in fear because this is a fearful thing. It's about preparing so you don't live in fear. All right, so what are some of the things you're going to stock up on? And hopefully you'll get the ball rolling if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, go ahead and check out this next video.